In a strong push for national security, Alberta has joined British Columbia in urging the federal government to label the India-based Lawrence Bishnoi gang as a terrorist organization. Premier Daniel Smith and Public Safety Minister Mike Ellis say the gang is a dangerous transnational network involved in extortion, targeted killings and even drug trafficking right in Canada's heart. Now, this move comes amid rising concerns about threat to South Asian communities in Alberta, British Columbia and also Ontario. Meanwhile, Edmonton's interim police chief has backed the call, saying the step would give police powerful new tools to dismantle such networks. Alberta is sending a clear message: you're not welcome here. Meanwhile, federal action could also unlock stronger law enforcement powers, which might be essential in fighting a gang whose global ties are now hitting the Canadian streets. My colleague Maha Siddiqui joins us for more on this straight from Vancouver. Maha, double-barrel question here for you. Now, what specific incidents in Alberta are being linked to Bishnoi gang's operations? And also, what would change practically for law enforcement if this gang is officially labelled a terrorist entity?
So the first question with regards to what crimes have they been accused of in Canada. Remember, there was a firing outside singer AP Dillon's house here in Canada that was linked to the Lawrence Bishnoi gang, and the killing last year of a gangster here in Canada itself was also linked to inter-gang rivalry here in Canada, in which the Lawrence Bishnoi gang's name came up. This is apart from the fact that the Premier of British Columbia around 2 weeks ago had said that there have been threats and extortion calls to a lot of businessmen, business people rather, the business community, not just in British Columbia, but also in Ontario and Alberta. And he linked those to these gangsters, specifically the Lawrence Bishnoi gang, saying he's writing to Prime Minister Mark Carney, asking the Lawrence Bishnoi gang to be listed as a terrorist organization, which now the Alberta Premier Daniel Smith, as well as the Public Safety Minister, has also said they've been backed by the interim Edmonton Police Chief as well. And here's where the answer to your second question comes. He says that this will provide them more tools as well as more power to act against crimes of this nature, crimes that are now spilling out on the streets in certain parts in Canada, especially where there is a high proportion of South Asian community. And this is a matter of public security now that both Alberta and British Columbia want to be tackled at the federal level.
Now, you very interestingly there mentioned the threat to the South Asian community. How are community members and even leaders reacting to the proposed terrorist designation in Alberta?
At least in British Columbia, the thrust or the pressure that has come on the Premier, on the NDP government here to take this matter up with the federal government, with Prime Minister Mark Carney, has come from complaints from the business community itself. The business community has been conveying to the government here, the administration here, that they feel threatened, that extortion calls are not allowing them to work with peace and flourish in this in certain specific pockets, as I already mentioned. And therefore, the thrust has come from the business community. They are the ones who have been pushing for action to be taken against these gangs. And while the governments here need to brace up and act against some of the crimes that have happened here, most recently in British Columbia, where we have seen a crime taking place outside the Caps Cafe, Kapil Sharma's cafe in Surrey. These are crimes that the Canadian federal government as well as the Canadian provincial governments need to crack down on. But so far, the British Columbia Premier also believes that to tackle this issue more effectively, this organization, this group of gangsters, the Lawrence Bishnoi gang, needs to be listed as a terrorist organization.
Thank you so much for your inputs there.